You are live.
247. Man,
247.
3 away from the big 250.
Yeah. The 2 weeks in a row, too.
I know. Look, man, we're on fire.
Fire.
What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to this week's episode 247 of the STS Guys. I am Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
And we are the STS Guys, a weekly podcast where we sit around, shoot the shit, and talk about anything geeky, nerdy, and cool. What is going on this week, Larry? 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
Man.
Well, look at that. Back being weekly, at least for a minute. So I guess you could say it's been a week.
It's been a week.
Dude, it has been a week.
Yeah, it has.
Exactly 1 week.
I know. Right? I we had good reasons, but we're back. Another fairly quiet Saturday. It's Labor Day weekend, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing anything. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah,
So,
neither am I.
It's perfect. Catching up on stuff, I guess.
Catching up on stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's like I said, it's weird that I'm like, wow, we're 2 weeks in a row. I'm like, we're back. I said we're back. We're back in action.
But it's good. It's good,
yeah.
right? Like it's okay to miss, but like today, right? I texted you to make sure you're available, and I'm like, hey, I was looking forward to it, so it's good. It's good to be back.
I think the funny thing, right, is like I even had like some potential stuff to do this weekend because this weekend is I said a good old GalaxyCon.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I'm like,
where are you gonna go?
I don't want to go.
It sounds like a no.
I don't want to go. I don't know. Like, I think
I forgot about that.
The Austin conventions, like I said, so like I think what turned me off, right? Because I'm like I was following basically someone's like said Instagram story. I forgot who was there, and the line to get in was like wrapped around the convention center. And right now it's like 100 something degrees outside. I'm like, and it's downtown, so it's basically
parking.
Like two things that I don't like. I'm like, and I'm like, I'm not gonna want to go. So, but shout out to all those guys at GalaxyCon. I hope you guys are having fun. But no GalaxyCon for me.
Yeah, I don't fully blame you. I feel like that's something I would do too. Is right, like it's fine. Like I don't want to wait in line to get in somewhere. Like I just want to show up, and it's probably gonna be mediocre at best. Like you're just gonna kind of right. Like it's gonna be one of those cons where like you probably walk around for an hour tops. Yeah. And unless there's anybody you want to meet, right? You're gonna walk around and you're gonna be done.
Yeah.
They did. Like I just brought up the list. I think they added some people. Because there's some. I guess I can share. There's some names on here that I don't remember seeing. So let's see what Jeremy's missing out on this weekend at GalaxyCon Austin. You're missing on Mike Tyson. I don't remember him being there before.
I don't remember him being there.
Sunday only, so you could still go see Mike Tyson. Andy Serkis was there today. David Boreanaz from Angel. Ming-Na Wen. Kristen Ritter. I don't remember her there before. Charlie Cox. Right? Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, I think, were on the list when we looked at it a couple months ago, but Kristen Ritter wasn't. James Vanderbeek.
He actually lives in Cedar Park.
Does he? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's probably, like that was easy for him. And you probably like just run into him at the HEB. But yeah, there's like those ones I don't remember. A couple Star Trek people on here. Actually, a lot of Star Trek people on here. Giancarlo Esposito. I know you've seen him before.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah, that was random. I don't remember him being there.
No, I would have remembered that. I don't know who some of these people are, but they're probably good too. And then my internet stopped loading the pictures apparently. But this is a very long list of I think it's too much. Like my computer's just like, no, we can't load all these pictures because the guest list is so long.
It's so massive.
It's pretty impressive though, because like Austin's never had a good Comic-Con the entire time you've lived there. So
No,
at least they're trying.
And honestly, I was tempted. Like I said, it was like I said, it was right on the edge. And then said Ed brings up, like I said, I'd honestly probably go for the Star Trek people. Honestly, said Ed, who I want to meet specifically from the Star Trek people is Armin Shimmerman is there. So like Quark, I said himself, right? Is there.
LeVar Burton,
yeah,
right? Reading Rainbow,
Burton,
plus Star Trek. But yeah, like
no, so
pretty cool.
They were making like throughout the day, there was a line to get in. Like it wasn't just like in the morning. I said there was a line
the whole day. They're just backed up.
Yeah, and I'm like,
No, I get it. Like that. That's no fun. Like it's not that good. Well, it's not San Diego Comic-Con.
Well, it's that, and then a certain somebody never responded to my email request, and so that too.
Got it. That's funny.
Like kind of a whole Tucson Comic-Con situation.
Yeah. Which is also this weekend. Tucson Comic-Con is going on right now, with their like one guest. I can't even think of his name. It's Carl from Walking Dead. Was going to be in Tucson, which is a good get for them. Chandler Riggs.
Chandler Riggs, yeah, Chandler Riggs.
Yeah, which is a good get
kid.
Yeah, who hasn't done anything since Walking Dead, but still. We might, so like this is a busy con weekend apparently, because right, it's GalaxyCon Austin, Tucson Comic-Con. It's also Sabaton Con. I don't know, it's some kind of anime thing that they've had in Phoenix for quite a few years. So we might go to that tomorrow. It's like downtown. I'm not excited about going downtown either.
Okay, I'm kind of
I thought it was in Mesa. I thought it was in Mesa like before, and I'm like, oh my god, Mesa, that's not bad.
I think it was in Mesa before.
I think it was.
Like I think it was at like Mesa Convention Center. Like
yeah. Apparently they're upgraded and they're in the Sheraton across from Arizona Center where like that Hooters used to be. Like they're
the movie theater and the Hooters and like
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a big AMC. It's over there in a Sheraton. So I'm not sure what to expect, but we'll see. We'll maybe have a con this weekend. Maybe have some con coverage next week. Who knows?
Coverage from Sabaton.
Yeah, I don't even know how to pronounce it, but there's no good guest. But like Ian saw it and he's like, "You want to go?" And I'm like, "I guess." Like, "You want to go?" And it's like, kind of. There's like nothing to do, so I'm like, we could just go.
Yeah, something to do.
Like, all right, we can just go. So we're gonna go check out a little con, and I have a feeling it's gonna be one of those ones where I drive an hour to get there and spend an hour walking around, and then we're ready to go. But that's okay.
Hey,
at least I'm not driving as far as Tucson.
Hey, so at least you're not driving as far as Tucson.
Yeah, that one is rough.
I did go to the comic book store today, though. So
did you?
Yeah,
that's cool. Which one?
Awesome Books and Comics.
Yeah. Is that the one you and I went there, right? Like,
yeah,
that one day. Yeah, I'm like, I think that's the only time I ever went there. Yeah, it was a good little store.
It's the only it's a decent one.
Yeah,
that's so there's some other stores. Like I said, it's not they're not nice and stuff. It's the only one that's like decent size and decent, like I said, just decent.
Yeah, well, decent size means they have stuff, right? Yeah, sometimes stores like that can be too small and they just don't have like stock, like back issues or the new issues. Like they just don't have like inventory, which is
as I said, I was on the search for two specific things. One, so there's this new comic book series out. I said called World Tree. It's actually a really good story. Like it's basically about underground, an internet, underground internet underneath the internet. It's like this like horror, like murder, like I said, like story. It's actually pretty good. I'd be surprised if it doesn't become like a TV or a movie at some point in time. Like it's that good. It's so good. It's already on its 5th printing.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. Like they've cranked it out once, sold out. Cranked that out again, sold out. And now it's literally going into its 5th print. I said, and then that's about to sell out.
Nice.
That, and then the other one is so lately I said you've had I said a whole lot of interest in Star Wars comics. I said that have been out. I said a lot of because I said the Ahsoka show that's come out, which I still haven't.
I haven't watched that either.
I think I'm just gonna wait until all the episodes are out and then I'll probably watch it.
Same.
But a lot of these, like I said, different different Star Wars books are like just jumping up in price like crazy. So like for example, like the first appearance of Ahsoka, like I said, in comics.
Yeah.
So like the book it came out in like 2013, 2014, something like that. The book's going for like over like $600, like for like a modern book.
Like maybe 10 years old, right? Like that's crazy.
Larry, if you happen to be by a comic book store, you should look for a copy of Mandalorian issue number 3, which is the first appearance of Bo-Katan, I said, in comic book format. So the character played by Katie Sackhoff. My guess is at some point in time, there's a whole lot of popularity, I said, with that character. It's probably going to be a spin-off, like I said, in the future of Bo-Katan. So like figured I would pick up Mandalorian issue 3. That's the first Bo-Katan in comic books.
Cool. Good idea.
Like four copies of that, just hide on the shelf for a rainy day. If nothing comes out, like I said, there'll be giveaways eventually. But hey, you know what?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt, right?
For $4, $4 a piece. Like I said, it's worth just to warm the shelf for a little bit, and then
Yeah. Well, no, right. Well, we kind of know too. We talked about her because she was at Phoenix Fan Fusion a couple months ago or whenever I went, and her line was crazy long for like autographs and stuff. And she's at cons every weekend, and people really, really like that character. Like she's fine. Like it's fine.
Really like the character.
Exactly.
That's literally the one reason why I even like some, like, you know what, here this is the cover, right? This is
cool.
Yeah, so introducing, like I said, it's the first it's the first comic book appearance. It's Bo-Katan Kryze, Koska Reeves, and Axe Woves. So basically, it's on that whole group.
Cool. I think when I searched for it just now, I think I must have seen season 1.
Yeah,
because this says season 2, and it just came out.
Yeah, so, it literally just came out. I said this past week. So like,
cool.
Wouldn't hurt to pick that up.
Yeah, no, I think you might be onto something. Yeah. Like you said, but Ahsoka's kind of always been that way too. Like,
let's just put it this way: I went to 3 stores. I went to 3 stores, and there's only 1 store that had it.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And they only had. I picked up the last 3 copies that they had.
Nice. Well, apparently we are going downtown tomorrow, so I will pass at least a couple comic book stores. So maybe we'll make a stop, or I'll see if anybody happens to have it for sale at the con too. That's cool. So might be worth get a little pickup. No, well, I was starting to say, like, right, Ahsoka's been kind of that low key popular for a really long time too. And now she's finally getting kind of like that her own spotlight. So yeah, I agree. Like, I feel like Bo-Katan's similar kind of space where it's not a main character, but she still has like a huge amount of popularity.
Yeah, like it's
that's why Ashley Eckstein charges like $120 for autographs now, because she can.
Well, exactly, right. And so, like, here, let me just show you this. Like, so this is what got me, I said, onto this, right? So raw copy. Like $600. I'm like, okay.
With a whole lot of bids. Clone Wars. Star Wars Clone Wars #1 from 2008. Yeah. So 15 years old.
Yeah. So like it's I said they're going kind of crazy. So I assume that, like I said, if the Bo-Katan ever becomes a thing, which people love their Mandalorians, and that last season of the Mandalorian was kind of, like I said, almost like a Mandalorian now, the Bo-Katan show.
Kind of, yeah.
I see it potentially happening.
At least they're going to be buddies, and then depending on what happens with her, they could easily spin it off to something else, because that seems to be what they like to do with this Star Wars Disney Plus universe.
Exactly. So
yeah, it's an easy pivot.
Yes. So I'm like, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, you know what? Not a huge Star Wars fan, but I'm a fan enough for that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're both fans. We're just not crazy about the new stuff.
Yeah.
Right. We're not fanatical about, Mandalorian, or we're not watching Ahsoka yet, but I still like, deep in my heart, I love Star Wars. So yeah, it's all good. I remember, like, Ed's watching it apparently. So he says that the 3rd episode of Ahsoka is the most Star Wars of any Star Wars TV series ever. So
that's good to know.
Yeah, I'm glad at least like, people seem to be interested. So that's good, right? It's not just awful. It's worth watching. I think that, right, I talked last week that I'm going to Mexico and next weekend. Like, I was thinking about either downloading that Ahsoka to watch on the plane, or is it Secret Invasion? Because I still haven't watched. I haven't watched that yet either. So I was thinking about. I know, like,
I'm missing a bunch.
I know I'm not like, I feel like I'm gonna regret downloading it to watch on the plane. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll watch Ahsoka. So we'll see. Maybe I'll just download both and see what happens. It's like 4 hours. Like, it's a decent flight. So
yeah,
I need something to do.
Yeah, it's something to do. Like, Secret Invasion. Like,
but I think I'm going to be bored.
I was sadly disappointed.
I know. And I like, that's part of the reason why I haven't started it, but I really, like, have no interest either. Like, didn't end up being like the lowest like, score on Rotten Tomatoes or something of any of the Marvel TV shows. Yeah. So, I mean, like, you weren't alone. Like, nobody liked it. There was nothing exciting, no spoilers or anything that I happened to stumble across. Like, it just exists,
Yeah. It's just there. But like I said, there's just the one moment that makes you go like, huh, okay.
Yeah.
like,
moving on.
like
cool.
I wonder what they're gonna do with that. But then I don't know. It's hard to kind of watch right now, like, any of, like, the connected universe as a type of content, just because I said you realize that, like, it's going to be a long time before you get anything that's going to basically finish that story.
Yeah, you're probably right, huh?
Like, just because
after the writers, Marvel's, like, right after Captain Marvel 2, there's probably not going to be anything for a while
because of the writer's strike, right? There's like, it's still going on. Like,
yeah.
Someone's, I said it's getting interesting, because I said someone's going to have to crack. I said on both sides, and I honestly don't think it's probably going to be the studios, because they have the money to hold out. So, like, I don't know. I feel for the writers, and I feel for some of the actors, right? But yeah, it's getting interesting. That's it out there.
Yeah. No, you're right. Because, I mean, right, for every Tom Cruise who's like a multimillionaire, there's 100 or 1,000 other actors who aren't anywhere close to that, right? You're living paycheck to paycheck and just trying to get by. It's those guys that that are going to need some income, unless they're going to start working at the Denny's or something on that Denny's we went to that one morning on, I think it's on Sunset Boulevard. By the Roscoe's. Like, unless you're going to work at that Denny's, like,
shout out to that Denny's. Like,
yeah. The homeless guy eating the jelly packets. Yeah, that was there, right?
That was there. Yes, that was there.
Yeah. So, you can serve the homeless guy who just is there to eat jelly packets because they're free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tyler Calvert's in the chat. Shout out to Tyler. He mentioned that Secret Invasion, he thought started out promising, but then in the end it mostly fell flat on its face. So. And apparently video games are going on strike too. Again, breaking news from one of our favorite YouTube channels, Tyler Calvert. Yeah, I don't know. I heard somebody else too, like was probably going to be going on strike. So yeah, it seems to be gaining momentum on that side. I don't know. Hopefully it gets resolved soon, because otherwise it's going to be like kind of pandemic times, right? Where like we just had this dry spell of content for a really long time, and that's not good for anybody. Like that's not fun. Like everybody likes watching some kind of TV show or some kind of movie.
Video games, they can go on strike. There hasn't been any good games for quite a while.
No.
Like,
well, I mean, there's October 20th is coming up, I believe, with just Spider-Man.
It's already in the bag. So I know I'm getting.
I
know there's no release. I know there's no delay in that game. So I'm like,
but that's the Spider-Man date and the new Mario game on Nintendo Switch. Like that's a big day. So like, I know that like you said, I know those are done, but there's a very big video game release date coming up in just a little over a month.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, I've already said that's
the Sonic game too. This like Ian wants the new Sonic the Hedgehog game, which we played at Comic-Con at the Lego booth on Sunday for a minute. It was pretty cool. So yeah, there's a few good things coming up before the end of the year.
I got my tease of Spider-Man. I said in the mail. I said earlier this week. I said I got my my Spider-Man. I said my Spider-Man 2 PS5 controller.
Nice. Yeah, I was wondering if you got yours. When I just said Spider-Man, I grabbed my phone to check my Amazon because my controller was supposed to be delivered today, and it's 8:30 and it's not here. But now it says now arriving tomorrow by 8 p.m. So whatever, at least it didn't get stolen or something. But our controller should be here too. I saw, I think Dwayne from 3 Beers and a Mic got his, and he got the plates. Yeah. So that's cool. It looks,
5 plates.
It looks
awesome.
awesome.
Will be here, I think, like Wednesday. I think.
Okay.
Because like I said, I had to because those because my controller was from Amazon. The plates were from GameStop.
Yeah. That's same, right? Our controllers for Amazon. I totally missed the plates, which is fine.
But we sold out like crazy.
I know. I think there's got to be a restock coming because there's money.
100%.
They're not going to leave that on the table, so maybe I'll try honestly, to get it.
I just because I said I may end up selling those plates.
Yeah, they're not a necessity. You can wait.
They're not a necessity. And then there's a couple like people who make like custom plates too, so that I actually like a little bit better.
Yeah.
So I may actually flip those plates and just get something.
Yeah, that would be cool. And if you want them again, like they come March or something, like after Christmas, they're probably going to be easy to get. So ours, the way our PlayStation sits right now, like you can't even like see it. It's on this little skinny shelf. Like you couldn't even see the plates.
Same.
Like,
literally same. Like because I have mine vertical and it's like tucked in. I said a little media box shelf, and
that's what ours is too. Like it's cool, and I probably would have bought it if it was available, but I'm like, it's kind of dumb because you're not even gonna be able to see it. So, but that controller looks cool, and
controller is cool.
We only have one controller, so I'm excited to have a second controller. I haven't played the PlayStation or PlayStation 5 in a very long time since we've moved. So
again, right? There hasn't been any good games.
There hasn't been anything good. Yeah.
There hasn't been anything good.
No. It's crazy.
Speaking of nothing being good.
Well, I'm gonna derail you. Did you buy anything? Because I see something behind you on I believe it's the corner of your desk.
Yeah. I got something. Well, I got something that's not a hot toy. I said this week.
Let's play the sound anyhow. Hold on. I'm scrolling because it's still pretty hot.
That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That was hot. That's hot. That is really hot.
So I got I said, so they opened, so Funko opened it up, I said, to everybody finally. It is the, the Funko Pop Yourself. So I now have, I said, Jeremy from the STS Guys, I said, with his little dog holding a microphone and headphones. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So
the glasses, the little beard, the little goatee, like it's good, man. It looks good.
Look at that. Yeah.
I like it.
So it's my Jeremy from the STS Guys.
Yeah, with very, dog. Very cool.
So I was happy to to get that in the mail. So
yeah, that's cool. I've seen a lot of people get them and post pictures of them on Instagram and stuff. Like it's cool. We said this maybe last week or something, but like it's a little late. It is a lot more exciting like 2 or 3 years ago, but like it's cool that it's here, and again, it's cool that people are excited about it. So that's awesome. That's what
and honestly, like I said, I'm like, I wasn't gonna do it. I'm like, but my God, at the same point in time, I'm like, I kind of want
cool.
it. I said, just because I still like my pops, right? So I'm like, I have to take advantage of it.
And it's a pop of you, that you get to design and pick out the things and all that. And like I made one at Funko Hollywood. I don't remember when we went to Funko Hollywood. Maybe last year. But right, I made one at Funko Hollywood, and the options were fairly limited. It looks like there's a lot more like clothing options and hat options and accessories. Like they have a lot more options, which is cool. Because I like mine, but like I could have liked it a little bit more. So maybe I'll have to at least go mess around with it and test it out. Whether or not I buy it, we'll see.
At least make that the update.
Yeah, I got to see what they've got because I haven't even looked. So I'll probably do that this week.
Yeah. That was my thing. I said I got in.
Yeah, very cool.
Well, then besides my me and you were talking about this right before the podcast is been on the old whatnot train. I said lately.
Oh yeah.
So like honestly, I said for those of you who do not do the whatnot, basically what it is that it's a best way to describe it. It's a live version of eBay. Think of basically mixing like Instagram Reels or TikTok and eBay together, and that's what whatnot is. It's kind of cool because there's certain things that you can do on there where you can, like I said, you can either have super interactive shows, and me and Larry were actually talking about this. Like I said, there's some sellers on there that aren't necessarily interactive, but if you can find someone who's super interactive and has fun with you and conversates with you, it's a great time. So I've been popping in, like I said a few different of the comic book channels. I said just to kind of pick up a couple things because that's what I do when I'm bored. And then also too, like I said, the cool thing about whatnot is I said you can actually the hosts of the shows, they can do giveaways. So one of the giveaways I said one of the whatnot shows I was on, I said a couple weeks ago was on Rob Liefeld's I said whatnot. I actually won a signed Rob Liefeld figure, like a little figure 2-pack from San Diego Comic-Con. And they literally ship it to you for free. It's like, oh yeah, everything's free. Like here, they said it's a random giveaway that they do with it. I've won so many giveaways in the past like 3 weeks, just popping into different people's channels
That's awesome.
and going out. So last giveaway actually just came today. Was this Thanos Death Notes said number 1.
Very cool
cover. Like I said, don't know what it is, but I'm like, hey,
but it's
I'll take a free comic.
Yeah, exactly. It's cool. It's a number 1 of something Thanos. It's cool. That's awesome. So I had deleted whatnot. I think I had to download it maybe closer to the beginning of the year. And I deleted it because I wasn't watching it and I had the notifications on and it just got annoying, right? So I'm like, delete. So I messed around with it a little bit this week after you talked about it on last week's episode. And I don't know, some hit or miss. I was just poking around on the search, the browse, the browse who's live, and the majority of the people I stumbled across weren't that interesting. Or they're just kind of sitting there, and I'm not sure what they were trying to they weren't running auctions. They maybe had some stuff in their store that you could buy it now or whatever, but they weren't very engaged. So you get 30 seconds with me. If I don't find you interesting within 30 seconds, I'm moving on. Mm-hmm. But previously, I had there's a sports card YouTube guy, card collector too, who goes around different card shows all over the country and makes videos and stuff. So I'd been watching his videos for a while, since earlier in this year when I found myself without a job and was watching a lot of YouTube.
As you should.
And yeah, exactly. So I stumbled down that rabbit hole. But he a lot of that space sells. Right, you make YouTube videos, you got your audience, you start selling on and whatnot. So he's one of the people I followed. So I had my notifications on on Tuesday or Wednesday. It's hey, he went live. So when I'm working, I'm like, whatever, I'll throw it on, and then I just start entering the giveaways. There's 100 something people in there, but I won won a giveaway the first day. I'm like, sweet. I won. It's a pack of cards. I think it's a pack of football cards. I'm like, cool, whatever. But like you said, totally free. They covered shipping. I already got the tracking number. Like, I'll be here Tuesday. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, awesome. So I feel I don't have that many notifications on. So he's gone live several other times since then. I figured I won one. I don't need to keep entering. But yeah, I'm like, all right, cool. Like, Jeremy said he won something, so I gave it a try, and I won something too. Maybe good, maybe not. Who knows? Maybe it'll have something cool in it.
Like,
it was free.
Yeah, it's free. Like, and it's completely random too. One night, I said on I forgot whose stream it was. I was on one of these comic book seller stream where I won as a giveaway like 3 times. Within an hour and a half, where people in the chat started getting pissed and saying it's rigged. But I don't know. But it's funny. And like, it's, I don't know, like, it's entertaining. I said,
yeah, it's cool. It's a different way to, like, it's just a different way to buy stuff other than eBay.
Yeah.
And it kind of exposes you to maybe some things that you wouldn't think of, right? Like, you wouldn't think to search for, because if they're selling stuff, right, they're just putting things in front of you, like, hey, do you want to buy this? And if the price is right and you feel like it's a good deal, like, you can just bid on it.
Well,
so yeah,
especially for like some of this like comic stuff, like, right? I said, if you like, I've had to buy my strategy. I said, for stuff that I've wanted, right? Of like, I'm like, hey, if I can pick it up cheap, or if I can, like I said, get it, I said, just cheap enough, and I'll pick it up. So I said, a lot of these streams with like 30, 40, maybe max 50 people, chances are, I said, within those 30, 50 people, maybe some of those people are looking for the same stuff, but I'm also looking for the weird stuff that the people aren't gonna want. That like, oh yeah, here, this auction starts at $1, and then no one bids on it. Yeah, and then like, sure, like, hey, I'll take that for $1.
Yeah, right? Well, and then if you win a couple,
I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, and if you win a couple, doesn't it automatically like combines the shipping for you?
Exactly.
Too,
so like, it basically combines.
You're doing pretty good.
So that's how I picked up that comic the other day for Larry. I said, oh, that's 7-Eleven. I'm like, hey, yeah, I'll pick this. This is cheap. I'm like, no one's gonna want this.
Right? It's super random.
Yeah.
I googled that after you showed us that last week. It was from the movie. Right, it came out when the Simpsons movie came out, which I think was like 2007-ish, and I do remember that they had like a 7-Eleven like tie-in, like several 7-Elevens like across the country, like they mocked them up as like Quickie Marts, and right, it wasn't all of them, it was just like a select few were turned into Quickie Marts, and they had like squishies, right, instead of Slurpee. So I do remember I did end up going to 7-Eleven, and I got a Slurpee cup, but it had like a crazy straw with like Apu on it, like a little figure kind of on the straw. Like, I do have that, so I'm like, I do remember this, but I don't remember the comics. I guess they had like donuts and a couple of other things too, but yeah, the comic must have been fairly rare.
Yeah, but yeah, so it's already. I said I'm already getting it together. I said a pile. It's
nice.
It's going to be headed to CGC.
Nice.
And so when
when
it eventually comes back, I said I will send it your way. But
that's very cool. I'm like,
since I already have an order, I said going like it has to go to CGC just because like I doubt there's that many on the there's that many on the census. Like I said, if at all.
Yeah, I agree. It's got to be, if it even like maybe somebody sent it, but it can't be too many. Yeah, and it's weird because that's the thing that I've never thought about before. Really, is like getting graded Simpsons comics. So I'm not searching for them, but I'm excited to get this one when you get it back. Like that.
Yes,
that's good enough for me, because that's a dangerous spot for me to go. But yeah.
Hey, you know what? Like I said, if I can influence, at a danger spot, like, so that's what I'm doing.
That's true.
That's my thing. That's my superpower. I can convince people to buy, like I said, random stupid stuff.
It sounds like you need to help Ed with some tips on how to submit comics to CGC.
Oh,
so.
Ed, like I said, I've done this several times.
It's easy, right? But it's
super easy.
It's easy, but like that first time, it's a little. I feel like it's
first time it's like a little nerve wracking, just because like, am I doing this right? Because like I said, there are steps that you have to follow, like depending on like I said what you want to do, right? But like I said, at this point in time, like I've done it literally so many times, like
it stops being a thing. Like I remember, remember when we first sent like sports cards and your Marvel cards to PSA to get them graded and stuff. Like I remember that first time, I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But after I did it a couple of times, like it's like not a big deal. It's like whatever, just you're good. Just you worry a little bit about sending your stuff through the mail and all that, but not so much. Like if getting orders lost was a big issue, like we would have heard about it and all that stuff, right? So you just got to make sure you're packaging everything correctly and filling out the form correctly and all of that. But once you do one,
literally
you'll be a pro.
Yeah, it's old hat now. Yeah, so like I said, if you need help, like I said, I can more than happy to talk you through it. But yeah, no, like so, like I'm probably going to like be submitting probably like 25 or 30 books. Nice. I said off in my next order. Just because there's some stuff that
sorry, I totally interrupted.
Oh no, you're fine.
How much does, I know it probably varies, but how much does it cost to get a comic book graded? Like
so
modern, $50.
Modern book basically anything from like 1975 forward. It's like $30. Anything that's a little older than that, it's $50, and then anything that's over. I said anything that's valued over $1,000. I said it's 4%. I said of the market value.
Okay, that's weird. So, but okay,
which is it's kind of weird because right, like that's a crapshoot. And I said that's almost on you to determine basically what it is. And partly the reason why they do that, right, is because of the insure, because they actually insure them. When they actually mail them back to you. And so I said the reason why I said they do that is because so that way they can actually insure it for enough money.
Yeah, even for on site too, their liability, right? Yeah. If there was a fire or God forbid something crazy happened, right?
Exactly. Or
they have to know what they have.
For example, the hurricane that just went by the facility.
Exactly. It's for shipping,
I got the email that they shut down CGC for like 3 days. I said while everything was going on. So that's why I haven't actually been in a rush to actually send out these books because, like I said,
no, I'm sure they're a little backed up.
They're going to be a little backed up. So like I said, but it's weird though because like I said, depending on like I said what grade your book is, like I said that can like I said depending on the grade of the book and the age of the book and what book it is, like I said, a grade, like I said, a 0.5 like a bump in one direction or another can be hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Like it's crazy. Like I said, on basically, hey, what a grade's that at, and basically how that can actually influence the value. So like, I've never done any like I said crazy big books. I said like that. That's why I said a lot of the larger price books. One, I'm always nervous about buying a raw book. I said that's like a big key, like right. That's for like example that Captain America 4 or the other something I said coming in here. I said in the next week. I said I'll buy them. I said already graded. Because one, you know what it is, you know what you're paying for. And then I said you don't basically have to, like I said, miss anything like, hey, has it been restored, which can greatly affect the grade, or hey, is it is it missing a page, or is it doing this? Like, because I said a lot of times when you're picking up these books, right? I said you can't necessarily see like you can't let's say like, hey, thumb through it, because like I said, like no one's gonna let you thumb through like $1,000+ comic book.
It's but not at the same level of detail that CGC does. That's their job. So because you don't want you don't want multiple strangers thumbing through your book, counting the pages, that kind of stuff. That's not good. Yeah, I totally agree. It sounds like, especially for the higher end stuff, it's just easier to buy it, unless it's something you have that's gone up in value. But
exactly,
it's just easier to buy it.
It's just easier just to buy it. Like there's some stuff that's come back from like so the Here, let me share my screen real quick.
Yeah.
I had a few books come back. I said the other day. So
Cool.
I had this
this
Daredevil. Like I said, literally, if this holds no value, I said whatsoever.
Okay.
I said the only reason I did it is because I said I had this. My weird thing that I like is Bronze Age. Like I said, and Bronze Age is like from like 1972 to like 1980.
Okay.
Bronze Age #1 comics. Like,
oh yeah.
Other, like I said, it's some of these, like I
Okay.
said, hold literally zero value whatsoever. But I'm like, they're just weird because they came out with so many #1s. I said,
right. That's probably when it started, right? Because they make a ton now too.
Yeah.
But this is the birth of, so many #1s, like a Marvel Adventure #1.
Yeah. So like,
okay,
hey,
featuring Daredevil.
Exactly. And then I just got this book
that's
back
cool too
from CGC as well.
I like the custom labels that they do now. Those have gotten pretty intricate. With a color Spider-Man and like that.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice on the Spider-Man one when you posted originally, but I did notice this Daredevil one.
Well, the Daredevil one's kind of cool because, like I said, in the back end of the actual grade, it actually has, like I said, a ghosted image of Daredevil
really?
in the back there too.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so this one just came back from CGC.
Nice.
Which is the first appearance of Galactus.
Very
but then,
cool.
like, so then there's other stuff. Like, so right, like I said, this will end up going to CGC, which is this Invincible #1.
Nice.
But yeah, so like there will be stuff that's going to CGC. Like I said, that's going back to CGC for a reholder.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like Bronze Age #1s.
Yeah. Warlock. I remember I forget which one you bought, but I remember like when we went to Phoenix Comic-Con or something, which would be many years ago now. I remember you found something like, or you had bought a couple too, so that's cool. Before we get into the main topic, it's 40 minutes. Before we get into the main topic, I feel like there's a piece of news that we should discuss. There's a movie coming out on October 13th that broke the pre-sale record that Spider-Man No Way Home set not that long ago. That's right. The Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie's coming out, and it's already projected to make $70 million opening weekend, which is nuts.
That's just beyond insane.
So much, buddy. It's crazy. So I looked, right, because I was curious. We're not going to talk about this much. It's a segue, but I looked to see, right, 70 million. Like, I feel like that's a lot. What other movies came out this year? The Flash, right? The Flash only made 100 million total. Taylor Swift's already at 70. So Taylor Swift's going to make more than The Flash, like hands down, easy, which is crazy.
It is. Like that's beyond.
That's how big that's going to be. I also I know Taylor Swift's a big deal, but shout out to us for doing a Taylor Swift episode before. Like, I feel like she took it to another level since we did that episode. So we're totally in first.
Oh well, okay. Speaking. I know because I know we have the segue coming.
Okay, you can derail it.
So I need to derail. Speaking of, I said the good old Taylor Swift. Rumor has it, like I said, the rumor mill is going that Taylor Swift is going to be, in the Daredevil 3 movie. So there
Deadpool.
was, or Deadpool.
You said Daredevil, Deadpool. It's okay. Wrong D superhero.
Wrong D. The Deadpool as a Deadpool 3 movie. Specifically, I said the character of Dazzler.
I did hear that.
So,
cool. Remember, Mike mentioned that, like, I guess in one of the X-Men movies or something, right? There's a magazine or something that alludes that it was supposed to be Taylor. So it's cool that they're bringing that back too.
Yeah,
possibly bringing that back.
This is, I said, if like, here's the thing, if Taylor Swift is in Deadpool 3, that movie is going to break. I said, just break everything.
Yeah, that's true. And this comic book's gonna go way up.
This comic book is already on fire.
Yeah.
Like this was maybe like I said a $40-50 book. Like I said back in the day, it's going nuts now. It is. I said it is. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So this is also one of the books that's going to CGC.
Nice.
That I said that I have honestly just for that very purpose.
Yeah, very cool. Even if it's a minor, like a quick cameo thing, like it's gonna like you're right. People are gonna go see it, and that comic book's gonna go way up in value. And it seems likely because I feel like she's friends with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
So like that's probably going to happen.
Ryan Reynolds had sent her, like I said, one of the movie costumes. So there's like there's Instagram Instagram pics of her out there. I said with one of the movie costumes.
That's right. Yeah.
So like I said, the original, like I said, like rumor was like, oh, she was gonna be like I said appear as like I said Lady Deadpool. But then I said the latest thing is like I said, right, is like, oh no, she's gonna be Dazzler. I said, I'm like, which like
it makes sense.
She could be in that movie for literally 10 seconds, and that it opens it up to a whole different audience. The audience is basically paying, I said, $70 million.
Yeah, right. That's a $70 million bump on Deadpool's box office, as if it's going to need it. But that's cool, man. I think it's going to happen, and because the whole multiverse thing, even if they want to bring Dazzler back later in a bigger role, or play a bigger part of a movie or her own movie or something, even if Taylor doesn't want to do it, like you just multiverse it, and
multiverse it.
It's totally fine. Like it's not a main character. Like they could easily just throw her in, have her sing a song, right? Put on the soundtrack. Then the soundtrack's gonna.
She literally could be in that movie for like less than 10 seconds, and like I said, it'd break. I said it literally. Yeah, it's gonna break the internet. Like
no, I completely think so. And Ed's right too, right? If Taylor Swift becomes Dazzler, I mean, it becomes a bigger role, or at least it becomes as big as she wants it to be.
Yeah.
Right. Like if she just wants to show up for a day, film some stuff, and go home, cool. But if she wants to be in a couple scenes or whatever, like, they'll figure out how to make that work. And as long as she wanted to, I'm pretty sure they'll absolutely make that work, or encourage her to shoot for a week. And just money, print. She's just printing money at this point. Like it's crazy.
Like, and here's the thing, I kind of want it to be true just because I just want that movie just to make just gobs of money.
Same. And just be good. Be a good movie. Make a ton of money, and maybe get superhero movies back on track.
Yeah, and get it back on track. And that's exactly it. Well, and then also, like I said, I think it's like R-rated. I said, give us some R-rated superhero movies. Like, and I
True.
Think
it opens that door.
Thing. Like, hey, we don't have to. Like I said, you can still make your money. I said, you don't have to really stick to the PG-13. Like I said, you can have some R-rated like movies, and you could still make your hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah. No, I agree. And Tyler brings up like, Harry Styles was in Eternals, right? Like, figure out how to bring Dazzler.
Harry Styles. I said, he's playing Star Fox. Star Fox. It's Thanos' brother.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's Thanos'. That's Thanos' brother in the comics.
Such an afterthought. Yeah,
it's so weird,
right? Like it's very weird. If that ever even becomes a thing, like I don't know. Like they're such a mess. But anyway, $100 million this summer. The Flash. I know, Jeremy, you went and saw it in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
I finally watched it last night because it's on HBO Max and streaming. It's out there for home viewing now. So I finally watched The Flash. I think you shared your thoughts on it a little bit a couple weeks ago, or months, I don't know, decades. I know you weren't that, you liked it, but you weren't that impressed. Like I kind of feel the same. I liked it. Spoilers, possibly, if you haven't seen The Flash. But go watch The Flash because it was at least worth watching, right? Like I liked it.
Sort of watching.
At no point was I bored. I watched the whole movie. It was fine. It was really cool to see Michael Keaton again as Batman. Like that is
cool. Literally why I saw the movie. Was like I wanted to see Michael Keaton Batman.
Yeah, and it was right. It was Michael Keaton Batman. The music, the costume, like it looked and felt like just to see him on the screen again, and play that role was really cool. So yeah, definitely worth it for that. Ezra Miller was okay. Like plot wise and all that was okay. The Supergirl was fine. Like bringing back Zod was like all of it was just okay. Like, but I think the main thing is like at no point was I bored, which is a big accomplishment, and it's probably as good as like anything Marvel's made lately. Like it was fine. Like I enjoyed it. Like that's all you can ask for, right? Is to enjoy a movie. And like what was it? The Snyder cut of Justice League, like that was a struggle to watch. Like I turn like to not want to turn some of these off. It's kind of a thing now. Like that's an accomplishment. Yeah. So like we just talked about Secret Invasion, right? Like I don't want to watch that necessarily. But yeah, this was fairly enjoyable. So yeah,
so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Just because I also thought I thought the special effects were basically hot garbage. What did you think about the special effects? And
it was weird.
Do you buy the reason like, oh, it's because we wanted to see through the Flash's eyes and basically how he sees things, like that common excuse that they used.
Yeah, no, that's interesting because like I think right, you didn't know that when you watched it, but I knew all that when I watched it, and I definitely did think about it. Yeah, I'm with you. Like I'm surprised that the special effects weren't that great, and no, I don't think that it had anything to do with maybe how the Flash was experiencing things, because it wasn't just those scenes. Just all of the CGI looked kind of weird. Like there's some, it was the scene where Supergirl, where they rescue her, right? And then they're getting attacked by the bad guys or the Russians or whatever. It was the Russians. They're getting attacked, and she comes out of nowhere to save them. Like, but she's flying around and like doing, these superhero moves and stuff. Even the effects on those weren't that good. It looked like a bad like video game to me. Like it didn't look real. Like right, kind of the complaints with like the Star Wars prequels or whatever. Like there's too much CGI, too much green screen, and like it just didn't feel right. Those action scenes just didn't feel right. Like even Barry like running in slow motion or like at all, like all of the times they use CGI to recreate like a person, it just looked weird and it just didn't feel natural.
And I think I don't think I would even notice it if we didn't have a Flash TV show to compare it to.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that did better, at least for really the fight and running. The running.
Like, the running in the TV show is light years than the running in the movie.
Yeah. I almost feel like maybe the special effects team like was working on it and they weren't done, but they had to show somebody something, like the main director or something, and they're like, yeah, well, here's what we got. And he's like, this is great. Like, I love it. And then the special effects guys were just like, all right, like we were done, but like since you like it so much, like all right, like I'll take the rest of the day off. I feel like that would be something I would do if I was like the special effects designer. They're like, oh, all right, you said this is good enough. Well, fine, I'm done. Like, pay me, please. I think somebody just probably liked it, and they just, rather than reworking it, they didn't bother. Like the reaction when the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer came out, and everybody's like, "This looks like garbage," so they redid it. I feel like somebody just liked it, liked this version, and didn't push back, and they're just like, okay, it's good enough.
Which is kind of
we're
funny,
done,
right? Just because of how much this movie was delayed. Like it was, like I said,
it
was done for.
Seemed like it was never going to get made. Yeah.
And it was on the shelf for a while. Like you never thought to go back and just kind of brush that up just a little bit.
They had time. It's not like they rushed it to theaters. Like they had plenty of time. And Ed's right. It would have been great for 1978, maybe Superman 1 or something, but for 2023, it was questionable. Even like the end, right? With all the cameos and the AI. The AI, like Christopher Reeve and stuff, like even that didn't look that great.
Yeah,
Nicolas Cage,
super.
Like it didn't look that. Yeah, it didn't look that great. Like it was cool to see it, and I get it that, but because like they didn't film anything. Like that's all fake. Like I don't know. It was just weird.
Yeah, definitely weird. Except worth the watch. I said,
oh
just
yeah, it was
for the 89 Batman, right? For Michael Keaton Batman. But yeah, it's the special effects for just like I think I just lost a little bit of respect when they basically tried to make these. Oh no, we did that on purpose. I'm like,
yeah.
Really?
Did you
really?
Or did you just think nobody was going to notice?
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
almost
like
that. It's almost like that whole Instagram real meme, right? Are you sure about that? Like, are you sure about that?
Yeah. Something happened to where they at least didn't give it their best shot. Ed says I guess they're making an actual Superman comic with like a variant cover or something with Nicolas Cage's Superman. That sounds cool.
I will get that from the
I feel like that's something you need as well. Yeah. Ed's get it on pre-order.
I will definitely pick that up. I'll definitely be on my pull list because
that sounds fun.
It sounds weird and I must have it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like the weird stuff.
Yeah.
No, so I said because Larry had texted me earlier today because to check to see if we were doing the podcast. So I actually went and saw a movie today. So I went and saw Gran Turismo, which is having a longer theatrical run than The Flash. Apparently, me and Larry just found out about.
Yeah, because I was surprised it was still in the theater.
Yeah. Still in the theater. Still in multiple theaters. I said when we actually went to when we actually went to the theater earlier today. But for those if you don't know the story, it's actually based on a true story of back in the day. I said back in I think it was 2008. PlayStation basically held a contest for basically the best Gran Turismo players, and basically it put them in a real life racing academy that turned them into real life racers. It's based on a true story. Like I said, I don't think it's hey, rush out to the theater and go see the movie, some type of movie. But I actually enjoyed it quite a lot, just because I actually remember that story specifically. I said in the news. And so it actually has the real life racer who the story is based on was the actual stunt double and stunt driver. For the actor in the movie, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I saw the trailer several times. It looked good. But yeah, it was a wait for at home kind of movie for me. So I will see it at some point. I'm glad you liked it. So that just confirms that I probably need to watch that.
Yeah.
We could talk about this for 5 minutes. Did you watch or did you even know that there is a Beanie Baby movie on Apple TV Plus called The Beanie Bubble? Not a documentary. It's a scripted movie starring Zach Galifianakis and Elizabeth Banks.
No, because I have a hard time following up with any Apple TV stuff.
I get it. It's kind of the forgotten streaming service.
It is it's just and they actually have some decent stuff.
They do. They've got some gems. Yeah.
I just always forget about it. Because I'm like, oh yeah, Apple TV stuff. But no, that's interesting. I will have to watch this.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. It's not so I know it's on Apple TV Plus, but it's like Netflix good, right? It's streaming service good. It's not like an amazing movie, but it was enjoyable. It's I think it starts off with based on a true story, except for where we needed to make things up in order to fill in the gaps.
Is that okay? Maybe I did remember seeing the trailer. So like I said, did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Is it the one where basically is it the publicized court case of the people who break?
No, but that's part of it. They do show that quickly, but they do show that. So you might have that might have been in the trailer.
Yeah,
I don't.
I remember. I thought I remember seeing something. I said recently about. I said that because I remember that whole court case. I said where they brought the Beanie Babies. Physically into the courtroom, and they were basically dividing them like they were their children or something. I'm like, of how ridiculous
they show that briefly, I believe, in kind of a montage of like the craziness around Beanie Babies. It's not a linear story. It follows Zach Galifianakis, who plays Ty Warner, and his relationships with two women he's dating, like at different times. So the story kind of jumps around. And the third person it follows is the girl who worked for Ty, and set up the whole website and like helped encourage sales on eBay. And I think she even helped like with the whole retire idea, like to retire Beanie Babies, and they're not coming back, right? So she really like ran the company, but she was this like 19-year-old kid. At one point, she's talking to Ty, right? She's like seeing the writing on the wall that things are going to be falling apart, right? The bubble, it's literally called the Beanie Bubble, right? The movie. So the bubble is going to burst. And she's telling him, like, right, she's the one on the internet. She's the one on the Beanie Baby message board, interacting with fans and all that. And she's telling him that the fans aren't happy. They don't like what's being produced. They don't like how much is being produced. And he basically comes back and it's just like, I don't care. They'll like what I tell them to like. And it felt very much like a conversation that probably happened at Funko at some point where they're like, right? They're like, they don't want these Chrome Pops. They don't want these art series Pops. And I feel like Brian or somebody was like, you know what? They're going to like what I tell them to like. Which got me thinking that I wonder if one day, 5, 10, 15 years down the road, I wonder if we're ever going to get like a Brian Mariotti or Mike Becker, like scripted Funko movie.
All right. Okay. So just real quick.
Yeah.
Who are your stars that play Brian or Mike?
Gary Busey.
Oh, Gary Busey.
And only because like Half Geek got that autograph this week too. That without missing a beat, it's got to be Gary Busey. I don't know. God, like, right? It's got to be kind of slightly unhinged guy who's kind of little crazy, gets fired up. I think for Mike and Brian, like, I don't know, like it got me thinking, like if I knew enough about like the inner workings of Funko, like somebody out there needs to go start writing a script for this. Like, even if it's just completely made up, it would be freaking hilarious. But I feel like there's a good story there that's might come out one day. And I was thinking this, a couple weeks ago, because Brian was going to take his hiatus, but then like yesterday, some news dropped that Brian's like just completely stepping away from Funko. Like he's not going to be on the board anymore, and like there's still some drama going on there. So I feel like, dude, one day there's going to be a Funko movie. It's going to be great.
I would watch that.
I would watch that opening day. I would. Yeah, I'll do a Kickstarter and I will chip in money to help finance it. Like, absolutely.
Please. But it has to be Gary Busey.
Yeah, it has to be Gary Busey. Hold on, let's do this real quick. Gary Busey. Oh God. Sorry, Brian. Oh, hold on. This is what comes up when you Google Gary Busey.
That's amazing. I just did the same thing.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like these are the 4 or 5 pictures that represent this man. And his mouth's open and he's crazy. Oh my God.
Yeah. So that 5th picture in.
This one?
Yep. I think Brian's actually had that hair.
Yeah.
Like when his hair gets all kind of crazy.
Yeah. It's a little more vertical, but yeah. That's why, right? He's a little disheveled. Like, hold on. There's this one, right? Like that's not that far off. Like you could style Gary Busey's hair to be a little closer to, Mr. Mariotti.
Yeah,
I think that's spelled right. Yeah. It's not that far off.
Well, that's him with like nice kept hair. I'm talking about the candid photos, like I said, when he's at the events. Like it's
remember like COVID Brian?
Yeah,
COVID Brian was a little crazy too.
He had the long hair going on,
kind of this, but he did some interviews. he did some interviews or some like Funko live streams where it was a little crazy. Like there he is at the Making Fun premiere.
What is he? So who plays? So Gary Busey plays Brian. Who plays Mike?
I don't know. What do you think?
Jason Bateman.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because he's kind of got that. He's kind of got a similar like personality.
Yeah.
Kind of like
personality.
Kind of smooth. Like
yeah.
Right. Like yeah. It kind of works. And he looks. I'll share again. He looks somewhat close to Brian. Like again, you do the haircut and
so
you could pull that off.
Mike Becker.
Yeah. Sorry. Gary Busey and Jason Bateman. Ed, if you make a movie poster for this, I will be amazed.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I would be excited, right? But like, all the stuff that's gone down, like I don't know. Like, I know
there's so much there.
There's gotta be some stories there.
There's so much there, right? Well, it's in the realm of possibility. So they had made the Beanie Baby movie. They made, like I said, the Tetris movie. They had that. They had the GameStop movie coming out. Did you know that?
That's right.
Yeah. So they have.
I don't know if I do that.
Yeah, it's called Dumb Money. It's literally they fast tracked that movie. Yeah, it's got like Paul Dano and Seth Rogen and like a whole bunch of other people in it. It's all about GameStop. So
cool.
The fact that like I said, there could be a Funko movie like this, and I think
I feel like it's big enough where somebody's out there's going to write a script for it.
Well, because you have the whole Mondo stuff, you have the whole dump. Dumping product situation. Like you have like some different chapters. I said of this, right?
The sandwich at Fun Days.
Sandwich Fun Days.
I mean, I that wouldn't make the cut, but like it should. Right?
Like you have some gold there.
The stock tank that first day, that first week, right? Like there's probably some drama there. Like Reese O'Brien got super pissed off and quit, and Ben Butcher left. Like, right, a lot of the longtime employees jumped ship recently. Like, I feel like there's a story there, but it's going to take like it needs like an expose by Reese or somebody who writes a blog or a novel or something, or a biography about, hey, this is what happened at Funko, and then somebody turns that into a movie
with Gary Busey and Jason Bateman.
Yes, please. Absolutely, that would be gold.
You know what else is gold, Larry?
Following us on good old Instagram.
Yes.
Following us on Instagram at STS Guys. We are also on Twitter, X, whatever the hell it's called. It's still Twitter. The social media platform formerly known as Twitter, at STS Guys. We are also on Facebook at the STS Guys, and I am Larry from the STS Guys.
Shilling like a villain.
Shilling like a villain.
Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding.
Ding 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 ding. Podcast. Well, guess what? I've got a few friends who have podcasts.
I don't have friends. I got family.
That's right. Check out my podcast family, who may or may not still podcast, like Talking Pops, Pop Collectors Alliance, Secondary Years, Average Nerd Podcast, Nerdy Curious, Movie Retakes, The Toy Rewind Podcast, 3 Beers and a Mic. And check out Cookie on Just a Little Podcast, because he's a good guy.
Hey, real quick. So while we're on this, like, I don't know if it's going to be a podcast, I said, or not, but shout out to Super Russ 9000. I said, for hosting basically Comic Talk. Hosted his very first Comic Talk. I said I was a guest. I said last week. Larry, I said, is a guest. I said this week. So check out Super Russ 9000.
Yeah. Check out Super Russ. I'll be live with him on Tuesday, September 6th. 5th, I don't know, whatever day Tuesday is, the 5th, September 5th, 8 p.m. Eastern. Guy who doesn't collect comic books really is going to talk about his comic book collection. It's going to be awesome. And Jeremy, you're going to appreciate this, because when you Google Super Russ 9000, Two of the first thing. No, sorry, 3 of the first images that come up are either you or me. Like, look at that. That's my face.
Look at that. Like so.
Right? Like your logo, and my face.
Look at that. So that is. Like I said, that's it's meant to be. It's meant to be.
STS Guys takeover. Unintentional.
Unintentional
STS Guys takeover. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'll share out the link on the STS Guys Instagram, probably on our story on Tuesday if you want to come by, see what random comic books I have. If you like 80s nonsense like Elf or Thundercats comics, stop on by and see what kind of junk I have for the last 40 years.
I can't wait.
Yeah, you don't even know, man. It's most of my comic book collection is like weird TV stuff. So
I love it.
With the occasional Stanley autograph comic book thrown in. So
I almost here's the funny thing is I said I know that Alf comic well. I actually think I might have one.
Probably do.
Yes.
Alf is cool.
There's also. Do you have real quick?
Yeah.
Do you have the controversial Alf cover?
I don't know. I know which one you mean.
The one where it looks like he's like screwing like a seal.
Seal, yeah. You literally start typing in Alf comic and the word seal comes out.
Yep.
I remember this one. I don't know if I just remember it because I've heard about it. But yeah, like right, he looks like he's giving it to a seal. We'll find out. Find out on Tuesday if
please have this.
I have Alf number 40. Does it say 48? 48.
48.
They made a lot of Alf comics. I feel like mine are too early for that then. Like that's a good like there's how many do they make a year? 12?
12? 12. Yeah.
So that's like 4 years into Alf comics.
That's a lot of Alf.
I feel like I have all like single digits. I don't think I was collecting Alf comic.
Well,
I don't know who was collecting Alf comics.
Here's the weird thing too. Like so that Marvel Comics logo, that's a 90s logo.
91. Yeah.
That's when Alf the TV show was already done and over with at that point in time.
I feel like it had to be. Yeah, it was only on 4 seasons.
Yeah,
it ended in 1990.
Yeah,
but apparently the Alf comics outlasted the Alf television show.
Yeah,
who knew?
Yeah.
Oh well, maybe I'll even bust out my Alf Pog I got at Comic-Con. We'll see where the conversation goes.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's gonna be a fun hour. All right. That's all I got.
All right.
Somebody's the best.
For episode 247 of the STS Guys, I've been Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
And we're the STS Guys. Have a great night, everyone.
Oh, I got to do something. Let's do one of these.
Yeehaw! Yeehaw.
And hold on. Scott's better at this than me. Logo. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, bye.
And bye.